No Man's Sky's got a release date on the Xbox One, isn't that right, Joe Kulkowski and Gareth Evans, who are sitting here with me, Mike Williams?
Whoa.
Yeah,
it has hyperspeed, boy.
Yes, it's going to be No Man's Sky Next, which is going to be a simultaneous launch on all platforms by the sounds of it. So that's the big update if you're playing on PlayStation and PC.
That's right.
/ new game if you're playing on the Xbox One. It's going to feature a full multiplayer experience, in the words of Sean Murray. He was speaking to the Inside Xbox Livestream with Xbox's AceyBongos, or Graham Boyd.
Came out of hiding.
He did.
To do that.
Yeah, emerged.
After 2 years.
Really the first time we've seen him sitting down, talking and doing anything outside of just tweeting about random stuff.
First time seen in public, I assume, in 2 years. I mean, he said he dug a hole to get there, dug a tunnel, so...
Yeah, there you go.
He probably did.
He's kind of been flying under the radar since the release of No Man's Sky and all of the, let's call it, news afterwards. The event, yeah. So he's been pretty quiet, and then here he is for a solid 10 minutes, now 10 minutes, talking about the next big update, which is literally called Next. He says he wishes they could have done this sooner in terms of multiplayer. He wishes that this is what they could have done. They've been play testing it for 6 months. He says it's a very different experience. Describes it more like if the base No Man's Sky experience is you alone exploring the universe, the multiplayer side is more like Battlestar or Star Trek away team type stuff, which is a bit more fun and a bit more about communication and kind of building stuff, scavenging things and exploring in a more communicative way, because No Man's Sky's got like this isolated feeling to it when you play it. Part of the appeal, I got to say, because it feels very strange and alien when you're alone in these places. Yeah. But obviously this is going for a different vibe. So multiplayer confirmed. We saw the leaked box art, didn't we, a few days ago, which looked bloody nice, by the way.
We did. Great art. You know, no matter what your opinion of the game is, just look at the art that No Man's Sky. It's a very specific style.
Absolutely, so distinctive. You know straight away what it is. In my opinion, I said it when I saw that box art. They've got the best artist in the business, and I don't know who it is. I should have checked before coming in here, but whoever's doing it for him,
props to that one guy.
Flipping good. You know, it really is.
The Inside Xbox interview, the reveal of it all, didn't show off the box art, so I don't know if that's now officially been confirmed or whatever. But
it's been in the articles and stuff, hasn't it? The articles kind of covering it and that.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I guess
didn't show it off or anything.
But it's a lovely art style that the game's got, and the fact that you can play it with multiplayer is big news. But how's that multiplayer going to work? Well, you can play with a small group of friends, go exploring, like we mentioned, the Star Trek away team type stuff. You can also encounter random strangers, and you can team up with them. Or, in the words of Sean Murray, you can prey on other people if that's your thing. Don't know how to feel about that. I'm not excited about that, really.
I mean, is that a Sean Murray guarantee, or is that, it's not confirmed? I mean, what I'm trying to say is Sean Murray says a lot of things, right? He has to. Yeah, being able to prey on somebody, being able to grieve somebody, to what extent is that going to be? We don't know. We can only assume that it is going to be possible in a little, a small capacity at the very least. So does that mean that you can follow people around, or you can just shoot people, like we said in the office, can just shoot people, do a little bit of damage, and then stop griefing me, man. That's
exactly it. It's, the words there are prey on other people if that's your thing, if you want to be that kind of person or whatever. It doesn't really say can you shoot and damage other players. Maybe it means you can park your spaceship on top of their spaceship.
Yeah, can you rob their resources? Can you take over their homes? Can you blow things up? Can you really fuck them up?
Still pretty unconfirmed, so that's back to the old ways.
How Sean Murray does things, isn't it? Very vague and not very specific.
There you go, that's what that is. And a lot of excited quotes from Sean Murray, which is, again, we haven't seen him talk for a while, so he says things like, this is the potential that everyone's always seen in No Man's Sky about multiplayer. He says it's a kind of game that myself and a lot of other people have always wanted to play in a multiplayer world, meaning they're, I imagine, not having to fight and just being able to roam and explore and not be involved in confrontation as much as building stuff.
Sean Murray doesn't look like a guy who enjoys confrontation, and so I can completely get behind that statement. He does mention dogfights at one point, but apart from that, everything else that he mentioned, you just mentioned then about this, like, you can cause trouble for other players. We don't really know what that means, like you guys are saying, but everything else seems to be the teamwork based. Yeah. Because it is quite a casual game. Like, if you have sat through it and you have played it, you probably played it in an atmosphere where, well, you're relaxing and you're not playing the game to like build adrenaline for yourself. It's quite a relaxing game.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I don't know why they'd add some like weird, snappy, twitch shooty, PvP, jetpacks, like Destiny style stuff to it. So it seems like kind of in line with what they're doing, and it'll be pretty Well, depending on how feature complete the multiplayer actually is, you've got to always, reserve that and assume that Sean Murray's turned over a new leaf in his 2 years since he's been in this system of tunnels. But I sounds promising. Sounds like what I like what I'm looking for in a multiplayer experience basically is to have a nice time with people that I know and like.
What's interesting to me is that it obviously wasn't the original concept for the game, and it clearly wasn't intended to be in there from the start as it is the multiplayer. Had there not been such a backlash, do you think they would have got to this point where multiplayer is in there? Because obviously that's what everybody, all the players and all the community wanted, right? They wanted multiplayer. The devs maybe didn't want that so much for their game because they had a different artistic vision. Would we be here had it had not have happened the way it did?
I think so, because remember that half of the shit that they got burnt about was that they were promising multiplayer even from the beginning. So it's something that they have mentioned since day one.
It was more of a maybe kind of answer rather than a solid confirmation that multiplayer would be there, though.
Yeah, you're right. I think the plan was probably light multiplayer, this orb system that they've done now. Yeah. This fleshed out PvP. I can't imagine they would have added in, but the dogfights thing sounded unless dogfights is perhaps against pirates and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily confirm PvP.
See, this is the problem here. We're just left here kind of guessing what it is. But you touched there that there is kind of orbs and stuff. There is already partial multiplayer in the game, of course, so you can kind of see the Molyneux orb, as we like to call it, the Guildford orb.
Guildford orb,
which was a kind of co-op system that was in Fable, the Fable series, and that's it. We don't really know. This is just what Sean Murray said. There's not a list of patch notes or anything for us to examine here. These are just kind of like we had before No Man's Sky came out originally. That just, it sounds like this is going to happen, or it sounds like that is going to happen. He also talks a lot about all the previous DLC in the Xbox Livestream, which is going to be obviously included in the Xbox version. Why wouldn't it be in there? But what really interested me was he says that one day he might feel like No Man's Sky is done, but he doesn't feel like that right now. He's still excited about working on it, and that is what I take as an answer to what you just posed there, Gaz, about it being, answering fan demand with multiplayer and stuff. Yeah. I reckon probably always were planning on doing the Sea of Thieves thing of saying this is a base and we are going to keep
expanding,
building upon it. And there's a lot of argument to be made that a lot of that stuff should have been in there at launch because they said it would be. But I don't know. I think I quite like the idea that I've bought this game almost 2 years ago. Yeah. And I'm still getting stuff. I'm still getting new things to do.
I mean, I'm excited because I'm getting the game that I was promised to begin with more than anything. I mean, I felt let down. I'm probably the one who feels that most among the three of us. I felt really let down with what the game ended up being. So I'm kind of excited now to get my money's worth, what I actually paid for in the first place. And I don't see it as a bonus or an added extra. I'm just seeing it as fulfillment of promises. So that's kind of different to how a lot of people see it there, I suppose you see it differently, but
I think I was pretty disappointed, but I did play it a lot, and I did enjoy a lot of what was there. But I was, undoubtedly there were things that it was dawning on me over time that, hang on a minute, I thought there was going to be this and there was going to be this, and it just felt like a lighter experience by far than what we told. But that's how I'm looking at it now, because of all the updates they've already added since as well. Just remember, there's been 3 big ones that have added a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to this as like a bonus more than anything. And one thing I really need to say as well is that I am worried about this PvP idea of other players preying on me, because that is not what No Man's Sky is at all in my point of view. If I wanted to do that, I'd play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah, that's true.
What they have done really well is give you options. So you can start a game in the creative mode, or in the survival mode, or in the normal exploration mode. It's not beyond possibilities that they'll just add different types of multiplayer mode. They'll add a multiplayer mode where you can just co-op, or a multiplayer mode where there will be loads of players.
That works well on something like Minecraft, which has all those modes as well. Yeah. However, this is a single universe, right? I mean, how does that integrate well in a multiplayer single universe? It's tricky.
I guess the universe exists, but you just change the rules for the certain player, because currently you could be playing a survival mode or an exploration mode in the same universe, but the rules for you are different. So you could just change the rules in terms of multiplayer, like yes or no, will you be bumping into other players within this
like GTA 5 online, like you can just say
the city's the same, but are you online or not? It's kind of
well, no, because you can be online, but opt out of PvP, essentially.
So
you can just walk through as a ghost or whatever in the environment. And
right, I see what you mean. Yeah, so you've got the so you're in GTA Online, but I was thinking you meant the GTA 5 single player is there. You can explore the location, on your own in the single player mode, or you can play it on online, which is, it's interesting to see how they're going to do it. Again, though, we don't know because this is all just from a 10-minute interview.
And the one thing for me that sticks out is he's talking again, right? And he got into trouble last time for talking. And there's a couple of things that made you raise eyebrows from what he said, because he's very vague and he's not very... Why didn't he just get the game, stick it on the stage and show it off? This is what happens, right?
Well,
because this is what we wanted going into the game in the first place. We want to know what the game's going to be like before we bought it. And that way he could have avoided all the shit that he got in the first place. And he's pitching to Xbox platform now, right? He's trying to sell on a new platform. Why doesn't he just go up there and say, this is exactly what's going to be in the game when you buy it in 2 months' time?
I think the biggest moment came when AceyBongos asked him, what's the vision? What comes after you come to Xbox? What's down the road for No Man's Sky? He answers saying, we're good at making games. We're definitely better at that than talking about them. There's a real hunger in the community to know everything that we're doing and have a complete roadmap. Hopefully, we will reward their patience of not having much info with good, solid content. We only like to talk about things when they're right, when we're super happy with them, when we know that they can't possibly change. I really like making games. I don't necessarily like talking about them.
Yeah, this whole thing reeks a bit. It basically wants to be as vague as possible, not show anything until release day, blah blah blah. But Xbox have forced his hand. This is a big day for him. Remember, this is launch day. This is the whole I don't think he'll ever in his whole professional career ever do press stuff again big, right? But this is probably the only thing he's going to do with this. Remember that he's launching on a whole new platform, new console, big as well, right? Because essentially Xbox players are getting a lot closer to what was originally promised in PlayStation players, right? Which is pretty huge. And this is, I reckon, this is his only stop in the Sean Murray tour bus.
I don't know, because the money that he made off the original launch has got to be running out, right? So it must be quite big for him and his business, because he owns the business, right? They need to sell. They need to keep going in future. They need to sell a load of units. So this promotion, this marketing campaign, it's got to be beneficial to him.
He was everywhere though with the first one. He was on late night talk shows. He was on the news. He was
Jimmy
on
Fallon,
he was talking to the BBC non-gaming media and stuff. It's not going to be like that. The thing is, I think they've already sold most of the game before, and now they're kind of Xbox gamers can ignore what he's saying now and ignore next and look at everything that does exist, because there is already a lot more than there was at launch of No Man's Sky because of the 3 last big updates and stuff. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I am definitely going to be jumping in to check it out though. That's for sure. I've already bought it, so what have I got to lose? It's free. Do you know what I mean? So I am going to definitely check it out, and I'll be interested to see how it actually turns out after this long of waiting. How is the multiplayer going to be? Is it actually going to add to the experience? Multiplayer can change a game entirely almost, and make it a lot more fun. It can give life to something like GTA 5, as we've already mentioned. Not only life, but an awful lot of money. So who knows how it's going to turn out. But let us know what you think of the No Man's Sky Next information that Sean Murray shared on the Xbox live stream down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Should be another video on your screens right now if you want to watch that, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.